Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about what I believe is currently the third best movie of the year. And I mean, I think this movie should be nominated for Best Picture. We're going to talk about The Invite. And you may be wondering, what are one and two? Well, number one is currently a movie I'm not allowed to talk about until after the red carpet premiere on July 13th. But that is clearly my number one. And number two is Project Hail Mary. Obviously, Obsession is on my list somewhere in the middle. I don't think I just saying, but I do. And look, Dune 3 isn't out yet. And I know Dune will end up being 1, 2, or 3 behind Project Hail Mary, and movie I am not allowed to say I saw yet. But after seeing The Invite, I can understand why there was such a gigantic bidding war for this movie. This movie is fucking fantastic. And when I mean is it's a completely original movie, and I think Olivia Wilde should get nominated probably should get one of the 5 best director slots. And I know we basically have 3 slots locked in already for best picture. I mean, for best director. I understand, Dune, Project Hail Mary, and The Odyssey. Nolan, the Millers, and Villeneuve are going to get 3 of the 5 slots. I do think Olivia Wilde, with how this movie is shot and how amazing everything feels with it and the fast-paced nature of it and the way you can truly feel it, I think she should get nominated for this movie. Also, as well as Best Actress. And so should Penelope Cruz for Best Supporting Actress. I don't think Norton or Seth Rogen should be nominated. I think they have very good performances in this movie. But I do think the 2 women in this movie should be nominated. So we're going to go full spoilers into this movie. And it's kind of interesting to talk about because there isn't a plot, but there's a plot. And the movie is just basically 2 hours of conversation in a way. Aaron Sorkin wishes he could do these walk and talks, even though they're not really walk and talks, but we'll break it down. Well, I'll go through it. Spoilers. So the movie begins kind of like 2000s TV show intro, like when the like Seventh Heaven would show like a character and then like the name of the actress on it. It starts off like that. And we see Seth Rogen's character is a college professor at San Francisco University or something, right? The movie takes place in San Francisco. And he teaches musical theater or music, like instrument things, and the kids are untalented, and he's angry, and he takes the San Francisco trolley, to go home. And he walks into the house, the apartment thing they live in, and Olivia Wilde's character, who is, her name is Angela, she is your kind of typical, I want to say she's playing her age in this, so she's 40-ish, early 40s. We kind of hear through a conversation, I have an 8-year-old daughter. She is basically, her characters like would be mirrored off, like obsessed with like Andy from Devil Wears Prada 2, but also kind of gives MSNBC wine mom vibes. Seth Rogen's character seems like a sludge, and this is my kind of issue with the movie, but it kind of answers it later, is that like I don't believe Seth Rogen could pull Olivia Wilde at all, but they've been married for at least a decade according to this movie, and she's yelled at him saying, please take off your shoes in the house. He's angry, and she's like, you forgot to pick up the wine. And then he's like, why are you setting up? She's like, our daughter has a sleepover at Sandy's house. Sandy's mom is single. Don't worry, there will be no other men in the house for the sleepover. And they have this conversation, and she's like, wait, why is the table set up? It's like, oh, we're gonna have dinner with our neighbors. And then he's like, which neighbors? Our upstairs neighbors. And they bitch about how they can hear the neighbors have loud orgasms every night. And he's like, I can't believe they fuck like this. We just hear their orgasms every night. I want to fight them. I hate that we have to hear them all the time. And they're like, well, we just finished remodeling. We should have them. They've always wanted to come over. It'd be good to play nice. And they kind of talk in that therapy, MSNBC, like liberal wine mom type of way. And she's like, I listen to Call Her Daddy. I listen to Meg Robbins' podcast. And she's like, why don't we just reset? Okay, let's reset the conversation. Please go outside, come back in, and let's do the conversation again. So they do it in this, that very passive aggressive, like, annoying activist-y speak way. And he's like, okay, wow, I'm sorry, I forgot to pick up the wine. Oh, we're having dinner with our neighbors and this like this. And then she's like, no, okay, and they're having this argument, and they're fighting about the sex noises. They're also fighting about, you know, you don't do any. She's fighting about him that you don't do anything, and it's kind of like a way we see, you know, a lot of marriages, because there's only, I think, throughout like real people that are married, there's only like 3 couples I truly believe that are destined to stay together. Everyone else I kind of just believe they're going to get divorced, because I just, you can tell if there's a spark or not, right? So I believe in like Zendaya and Tom Holland's marriage. I believe in, ironically, what the fuck is da 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 da. Oh, Jack Quaid and Claudia Dumont from The Boys, their marriage. I also kind of believe in Jon Favreau and his wife Emily from Pod Save America's marriage, right? They're only marriages I truly like believe in will work. Everyone else's I just don't. I kind of just see like, don't you get bored? And I see like a lot of weddings happen at like this restaurant that's right next to where I live, and I just like, I don't believe it. I just, the shit that both these characters do, these covers, I would not tolerate. Like, I could not stay in things that would make me hate myself, because I just don't tolerate nonsense. So they have this fight, and they're having a loud argument, and then the door knocks, and it's the neighbors, and they're like, "Hi, we didn't want to intrude. We could hear you. You know, the Walders, and we could hear you. Like, the vibe is off. Do you want us to do?" Oh, and also Olivia Wilde's been trying to bake a souffle. Doesn't work out well. And the Penelope Cruz gives Olivia Wilde a flan. Please leave it in the fridge. And we meet Olivia Wilde's character, Pina, and we meet Edward Norton's character, whose name is Hawk. Okay, and they begin speaking, and they're like, "Look, we're very honest about it." And Seth Rogen's character is like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this. We could hear you. Yeah, I think you're annoying. All of this." And Penelope Cruz looks so hot in this movie. I gotta say, I'm really rocking. Also, I gotta like how Olivia Wilde has her hair in this, like the weird Mother Teresa style braids that go up. I think she looks good. I think Penelope Cruz's hair also looks hot in this movie. Like, and I kind of like that everyone's kind of also rocking the off-campus haircut that Allie does. I gotta say, Penelope Cruz does not look like she's in her 50s. Olivia Wilde does not look like she's in her 40s. Okay, and I'm really digging this post Harry Styles, you know, vibe of Olivia Wilde. I think they both look beautiful, and they both look realistic of people. And there are so many interesting lines that happen about this. So they have the conversation, and they're just talking about things about how how Edward Norton is a firefighter, right? Named Hawk. And well, he was a firefighter. And he's like, I quit. Once I got my pensions, I began living too dangerously. I was going to get myself killed. I was going to get my team killed. And Seth Rogen's like, you don't look like a firefighter. Bullshit. He's like, what are you? Like a law firm guy, a banker, finance dude? What do you do? Because there's no way you believe. He's like, no, I was a firefighter. And he's like, this is how I met Penelope Cruz, who is a sex therapist. And he's like, oh, okay. And also, and he's like, this is my therapist. And he's like, after, you know, I just kind of was going through it, I met her. And then Seth was like, so wait, you are dating someone who was your client? Fucking creepy. Kind of like in How I Met Your Mother, when Cal Penn was fucking Robin, and that they were the therapist. And they have this whole conversation. They go through it, and the whole thing with the window is their apartment. So this building is structured like a U. I guess this is very common in San Francisco apartments. And they're a floor above, and they can see directly into Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde's apartment. And they talk about things, and they're like, I'm going to go smoke. Oh, Edward Norton. Oh, this is what I forgot. So Seth Rogen's character is basically Rufus from Gossip Girl. He was a part of like a Goo Goo Doll style band in the early aughts. And that's why he was very popular and things like that. So he has like the one song that was like really good, but he hasn't played music since. And Olivia Wilde's character doesn't work. She is the MSNBC wine mom, and this is the whole thing. And people are like, well, how do they afford this apartment? Apparently this was their parents. This was Seth Rogen's parents' apartment. And he feels ashamed about that. And then everyone's like, it does okay. No one can afford anything anymore. It's America in 2026. Then Edward Norton, they talk about their sex life and how happy they are, and the tension between this is like very angry at them each other, and then we kind of get the sexual tension bit of it. It's like, oh my god, because Seth Rogen and Penelope Cruz go into the music room and they start talking, and she's like, oh my god, I love the song and the vibes about it, and she's like, I know you look at my boobs and things like this, and then Olivia Wilde and Edward Norton are talking about the wine, and how you just talk about this and how I like to get pegged, and I'm very open about our sex life, and that's why we have so many orgasms and things to that extent. And it's like you kind of just see and you think, oh, they're both going to cheat on each other in rooms right next to each other. They come back in, and then Edward Norton mentions like, oh, we just well, your wife invited us for dinner today. What do you mean today? Like, you said you did this a week ago and you never told me. I'm like, nope, it was today, this morning in the lobby while we were picking up an Amazon package. It's like, oh, okay. And he's like, Penelope Cruz, I sense a lot of resentment here. And why don't you just be honest? So like, I have something to say. And then Olivia Wilde keeps like feeding flan into Seth Rogen's character because he's about to yell at them for about the sex noises and all of this. So then, because they heard the entire conversation of what they were fighting before they went to the apartment, she's like, look, we just want to apologize for the sex noises we're making. We know we're loud and this, and you can be honest about it. You've been honest all night about it, Seth Rogen. Why aren't you being honest now? And they do. And they explain the sex thing is that they have sex parties. So they're basically, Penelope Cruz is basically the character from Sex Life, right? The hot chick who's also in Paradise. And they explain like, yeah, this was Tiffany. She likes to get, she likes to go through the back door and get pegged. We also had another guy over. We had like 7 people up there. That's what you were hearing. We got, we were fucking in the bedroom, then we were fucking in the kitchen and all of it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they were explaining how like the sex parties work, and it's like a list. You say what you want, your preferences and things like this. And you can tell that both Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde, they're in this marriage where they definitely haven't had sex in forever because they're very intrigued by it, and you can tell they're both sexually repressed. Because once again, apparently in a lot of people's marriages, which I don't know, like similar people dating, they're just in it because they've been in it so long they don't know how to be single again, and they clearly would file for divorce and things like that. And Penelope Cruz is like, how about you join us? We would like to have sex with you guys, okay? And we could start off, since you're probably not comfortable, is she'll have sex with Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde will have sex with Edward Norton, voila. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure? And then they go into those separate rooms. Edward Norton begins to eat out Olivia Wilde, and this is like the most sex. She looks so good. Like, Olivia Wilde looks super hot. Seth Rogen and Penelope Cruz, we think, oh, they're gonna fuck. And then the books fall on Seth, the music sheet stuff fall on Seth Rogen. He hurts his back. He hears the screams. He begins crawling. Olivia Wilde is mad because she's like, you cock blocked me. You didn't let me to have sex and all of it. And they fight. And then Penelope Cruz begins to do her therapy speak. And he's like, you two are so angry at each other. Why are you two even married? When is the last time you've had sex? And they're like, wow, over 2 years. And they explain it. And Olivia Wilde's like, he doesn't want me anymore. He doesn't find me attractive anymore. And she's like, that's why I walk around naked in the house so he can see me. And I know he likes checking me out naked. And the Edward Norton character is like, what? And then Seth Rogen says, shut the fuck up, Hawk. I know that's not your real name. So what is your real name? He's like, my name is Howard Ludicrous something. And he explains that, he goes by Hawk because his wife had stage 5 cancer, terminal, and she died. And after she died, he got really broken and he was just so angry at everything. And he goes to therapy, meets Penelope Cruz, and he's like, I want to start a new life. And that is why I go by Hawk. And Seth Rogen laughs or something. And Penelope Cruz is like, how dare you fucking laugh? This is very emotional. And you're just being a fucking asshole about it. And then Edward Norton tries to explain something. And then Penelope Cruz is like, shut the fuck up. Okay. You keep correcting my English. Let me tell you, you don't speak Spanish well at all. And all of it are like, oh, they're beginning to fight and have this conversation. And then Penelope was like, why are you two married? Okay, what, for the kid? You don't think your kid can sense that you two should be divorced? Maybe she would rather have 2 happy single parents than a miserable parent stuck together. We all know the story. This is something very common when a lot of people are married. And this is just personally why I would never get married. There's no point to it. And they have this whole thing and they explain. And then Seth Rogen's like, she doesn't want me anymore. And then she's like, okay, tell me something. Do you remember when you first met? And she's like, Seth Rogen's like, I don't remember. And then Olivia Wilde explains the story is that she was on a date with a guy at a dive bar and Seth Rogen's band was performing. And she's like, he kept flirting with me with the eyes. I was on this bad date. I had him drop me off. And then I rushed to the bar and I talked to him. And that was our first date. It was like a beautiful moment, but Seth Rogen really couldn't even remember it. And like, you see, all of it. And they're like, okay, we're going to go. And Seth Rogen's like, I guess I'm going to sleep in the office. Olivia Wilde's going to go sleep in the bed. And then Seth Rogen begins playing the piano again because apparently he hasn't played piano in a decade because he lost his music, he lost his magic, a whole bunch of other shit. And Olivia Wilde joins him, and that was the invite. Okay, like there's a lot of shit that happens. There's a lot of funny lines that happen. It's really hard to remember it. This is a movie I want to see again a lot. And I think this is the thing. This, Obsessions, Backrooms, Project Hail Mary, these are, well, I haven't seen Invite multiple times yet, but the rest I have, right? These are movies I have seen multiple times and I loved, right? I think The Invite right now, I think it's number 3. Obviously, when Dune comes out, I think The Invite will fall a slot. I'm not saying The Invite should win Best Picture. I do think The Invite should be nominated for Best Picture, and it's very different from the drama. Now, this is an A24 movie, but this movie wasn't made by A24, like the drama or that Anne Hathaway concert movie. This was a movie Olivia Wilde did on her own, premiered at Sundance, and I can see why everyone wanted it. I'm glad she chose a streamer service because this would have just got lost on like a binge or whatever, and no one, and it wouldn't be having the cultural moment it will have in the same way Obsession and Backrooms are, right? And it's amazing that this is a movie everyone's going to see, and we're in between the Toy Story and Minions slot, by the way. Both are fantastic movies in different ways. This is also a fantastic prestige movie, and I want to see it again. Olivia Wilde should be allowed to do whatever you want. I think this movie is a proof of concept that the Harry Styles movie that was considered so bad was the exception, not the rule, right? Is that Olivia Wilde is a very good director. Now, I thought she wrote this movie. She did not write this movie. Rashida Jones wrote this movie. Apparently, this is based off a book called The People Upstairs, or it's based off another. I don't, this is where the Oscars get confusing on adaptation versus original. Apparently, this is based off, you know, a fucking film that came out in another country. I don't know how this plays. I think if you can finagle and get into original, I think you can. Obviously, Obsession is also going to get nominated for original screenplay, but if it's in adaptation, this is tricky because The Odyssey, Hail Mary, and Dune are also going to be like, you get it. These 3 movies are going to be eating up so many slots at award shows across the board, right? We know they're all going to get nominated for Best Picture. We know that these actors in these movies are going to be clogging up actress, supporting, and all of it. And they're kind of just fighting for what the free slots are left, right? It seems to be like, right, it seems Damon's going to get nominated for The Odyssey. I don't know if Tom Holland is going to get nominated. Let's calm down on that bit. But I do think Anne Hathaway and Zendaya could get nominated in this. And this is the also thing is that Zendaya could get nominated in Dune. Timmy could get nominated in Dune. You get it? Like, there is just across the board. This is a fantastic movie. And I gotta say, the group sex, the sexologist, I forgot because it wasn't a key thing. Penelope Cruz's character is like a vegan, but not a woke kind. Like, you would think like, oh, vegan San Francisco, but she's like a sexologist and all of it, but she doesn't have blue hair, but she has a cool haircut and all of it. And you got to see this movie. Okay. Everyone has to see this movie. Olivia Wilde, fantastic. It's interesting how like Olivia and Rogen, because Rogen, is directs a couple episodes of the studio. And it's just interesting that these two are so good at this. And the way this movie is shot and the camera moves throughout the house is phenomenal. Okay. All the praise to this. Olivia Wilde also so hot in this movie. Okay. Like, I can't believe it that she's like, yeah, don't worry, darling, bad. But remember, she directed what's it called? She directed Booksmart. She directed Wake Up, right? Like, Olivia Wilde has more hits than misses. She only has 1 miss, and the whole "Don't Worry, Darling" thing seems to be just from her own fucking personal issues with Harry Styles and how that situation turned out. Okay? Let her do whatever. Let her do anything. Okay? And I like how, I just love it.